How free is free? In this week's Parshas Behaloscha, we learn of one of the oldest Jewish tradition, a tradition which has been passed down from generation to generation to generation. The tradition of complaining. Jews like to complain. But our text tells us of a complaint that the Jewish people had in the Midbar, in the desert, which is kind of hard to understand. It's unfathomable. What are they actually complaining about? The context is the Jews are living in the desert, and for food, they have special mon, heavenly food that falls from the sky, and that's what's been sustaining the Jewish people while they're in the desert. Now they come to Moshe, and they start complaining. They say, spiritual food, mon, which can taste like anything that we want, it's not good enough for us. We want real food. Give us meat. And they tell Moshe, Zacharnu es adaga asher nocha b'Mitzrayim chinam. We remember the fish that we had in Egypt that we got for free. It's hard to understand this complaint. First off, if you have spiritual, magical food, why are you complaining about the food? Second of all, you remember the food that you had in Egypt for free? Really? Does nobody remembers the back-breaking labor that they did in Egypt? Nobody remembers that when they were in Egypt, they were beaten and they had to work day and night with no break? The food was free? The food was free? The fish was free? I want to answer this question with a mashal, with a parable that I heard. So, if you have a shop, and in the shop you have a shop worker, and the shop worker knows where to stack things, where to put things, how to interact with customers. The shop worker knows where everything goes. He knows how the shop works. And you say to him, wow, you're working so well, I want you to be the manager. And then the first day that he's the manager, everything goes to pieces. Because as the manager, he now needs to make decisions. As the manager, he now has responsibility. Before then, he was just putting the cornflakes where the cornflakes need to go, putting the sodas where the sodas need to go. Now he needs to decide, does he need to order more cornflakes or does he need to order more soda? The decisions, that's a lot of responsibility, and he wasn't able to do that. The Jews worked in Egypt. They were slaves, back-breaking labor, day and night. But there was no responsibility. They lived a carefree lifestyle. They were told to do what they had to do, and they didn't. Yes, it was hard. Yes, they didn't want to do it, but it was carefree. They had no responsibility. All of a sudden, the Jews are in Egypt. They leave Egypt. They're in the desert. They get the Torah. Hashem and Moshe are telling Bnei Israel, you need to live a life of responsibility. There's mitzvot. There's Torah. There's things to do, things not to do. There's a huge amount of responsibility. The Jews were like, hey, do you remember the fish that we had in Egypt for free? Of course, there was expenditures. Of course, we had to work hard for it. But there was no responsibility. In life, we shy away from responsibility. We want to live a free life. Free, not from expenditures, not that it's not going to cost us, but we don't want responsibility. And hopefully, we will learn from this that to grab a hold of responsibility, grab a hold on the fact that we have free will, that we have the ability to make good decisions. Unfortunately, we can make bad decisions. But to use our responsibility for the right and to focus on all the good things that we have, even if they come with responsibility. Good Shabbos.